Very nice. And
I'm Dean Lee, and this is Media MashUp for April 24th, 2012. Coming up on tonight's show, it's that time of year again here in Pasadena, time for the doodah. And we plan to talk the parade to death with former Queen Naughty Mickey and friends, lots of friends. And before we get to doing that, though, we do have a little bit of breaking news. Asteroid mining plans were revealed today by a private company called Planetary Resources. Sounds a little too sci-fi for us. So we're going to tell you why. All that, the weekly tech tip, and more, so stay tuned.
And we're going to stay tuned.
Right. Okay, so we're still
waiting.
Oh, it's
They're
coming
coming,
down. We can
they're
actually see it.
yes.
And so, where does it go down to? It goes down to the light.
It just goes down to the light down there,
and
that's Altitude Drive, and then it goes down to the light blinking down here.
Oh, okay. And it makes a big circle. It makes a big
And
loop around.
the thing that makes this interesting from when it was in old Pasadena is they loop around as many times
And
as they
keep
want.
going
There is
until
no
the police shut it down, which is what happened last year.
Yes.
They kept going. Media MashUp is being brought to you with the Pasadena.com and the hardworking folks in our Citizen Journalism Workshop. They're the ones who help make this all possible. This is the geekiest, up-to-date live technology show here on the Arroyo channel. This is where we turn the tables on the mainstream media discussing breaking technology news, internet memes, blogging, the future of journalism, or anything else we see fit. Tonight, co-host Kapawi Stibbert is back from vacation. And tonight we have special guest Michelle Mills, who writes for the Pasadena Star News. And so we are going to have technical difficulties throughout the whole show, so hopefully everybody will stay with us. But we do want to quickly do the technology tip, and we want to do our sort of breaking news story. So let's get right to the technology tip. Today, Google announced this thing called Google Drive. And to make it real simple, Google Drive is very simple. If people know what Dropbox is, it's a cloud-based service that allows you to put all your files and folders and all that kind of stuff up in the cloud, and then you can access it from anywhere, any computer. The thing that's interesting about Google Drive is they're going to give you a little bit more than Dropbox. They're going to give you 5 gigs just to start with, and then you can upgrade it from there, and it goes all the way up to a terabyte. The other thing that's kind of interesting about Google Drive is that's going to be integrated with all the Google products. So you'll get, Google. In fact, your Gmail will go up to 25 gigs, I believe it is, just by signing up with it.
Oh, wow.
So Google Drive, and then it hasn't been launched yet, but you can go and you can sign up to be notified at drive.google.com. And if you go to that website, there's a whole thing where you can put in your email, or if you have a Gmail account, it'll already come up and it'll say notify me when it comes out. And then I guess it's a program you download onto your computer, and then it'll allow you to store all your files up in the cloud.
Oh.
So that's our technology tip for tonight. And so let's get right to our first sort of the breaking story.
The breaking
right?
story. Well,
which is this weird, I thought this was crazy. This company called...
it's a startup.
It's a startup,
Yeah, it's
but
a startup.
well, how much... This is James Cameron and friends.
Yeah.
And so, how much of a startup is it if you've done things like, major motion pictures and I don't know how much money. And it's also the guy that did X Prize. Since we're having technical difficulties, I don't really have the story in front of me. I have a little bit of it. But it's called Mining Resources is the name of the company. And they want to basically go and mine what are called near-field or near-Earth asteroids. Yeah. And they're saying they can mine things like everything from platinum to water to everything to go. And I think they were using platinum as an example that one asteroid can get the same as a year of mining on Earth. And I thought this was really silly. I thought, they're obviously pretty serious about doing it,
right.
But it sounds just a little too sci-fi to me.
It was far-fetched when I first read it. It almost seemed like it was an April Fool's type of belated story to be just worked up in the workup of covering news tech stories.
Right.
It was unusual.
Well, they're saying that these asteroids are hundreds of them, and they're about the same distance away as the moon.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have to go out. And it seems like there's a whole lot of energy you have to expend to go out, mine an asteroid, and then bring the material back. It sounds way sci-fi.
Yeah.
In fact, if I was talking about this before the show, if you start thinking about from a sci-fi, a good novel or something, it's like if you start bringing all this material that on these asteroids to Earth, you start what do you call it, like
increasing the weight.
Yeah, increasing the weight of the planet until all of a sudden there's more gravitational pull and we end up going into the sun and we all burn up and die. And so that's how every novel
Dean goes
has
to the
be.
extreme here.
And then you'll have your protagonist and your antagonist. Your protagonist will save the world from the Earth going into the sun, and
they're gonna have to save it
right,
by
and then they can send the
expending
rights
all
to
that
me.
fuel.
Dean, my question is, what about diamonds? You want to know we're getting something good, not just a bunch of rocks.
Right, they want to bring. But you know what? If they brought back all these diamonds, right, then they wouldn't be worth anything because diamonds. Well, it's artificial anyway. But if you brought back all these diamonds and stuff to the planet, they would no longer be worth what they are, or nobody would care about them, right?
De Beers would probably run it anyway. They take care of all the diamonds.
Right. There was in the 1950s, on a serious note, in the 1950s, there was a drilling project off the coast of Alaska because they thought the crust of the Earth was nothing but solid diamonds, and that if they could drill down to it, that they could bring up and they'd have an endless supply of diamonds. And that's a true story from the 1950s.
Well, this will make a good story for Reader's Digest.
Yeah, I think it's just, we'll have to see if they do this. What's kind of interesting is this privatization of space, of going into space. And, this is the same people that want to do these these privatized space travel where you can pay, I don't know what it was, $500,000 or something, and you can go up into the space station or whatever it was. But we'll have to see. So that's our big story tonight. I just thought it was kind of silly, and so we're going to get into the doodah and talk everything doodah tonight. And so we just wanted, for those people that want to know what the latest in technology news is. And so with that, we're going to show a little bit more video of the doodah, and I'm going to try and get an internet connection in here. So with that, we'll be right back, and so you can watch the doodah. We have all kinds of people in here from the parade, and we'll talk all doodah when we come right back.
What's really amazing is what you and I were talking about before, how here the crowd totally melds with the parade. So you don't know where the fans end and the parade begins, and it's that big street party feel.
Right. Well, the best seat in the parade is on the medium, in the middle of the street.
Oh, exactly, in the middle there.
Absolutely the best seat in the house. And so, you don't have that in old Pasadena.
Right, and that way you can see things coming and going if you miss something you want to see.
Right. That's what I was joking around. I said, you get twice the parade for your money, right? It's totally free, but you get twice the parade if you stand in the middle of the street.
And who doesn't like double coupons?
Right, exactly.
Of course. Now, we're right here by where all the royals and dignitaries sit.
Right, where normally you'd be, right?
Where normally I'd be.
Now you're actually out in front of the camera.
Although, interesting fact, I've been here, this is my 10th year for the Doodah Parade. This is the first year that I have not actually been in the parade. Although I was in the pre-parade this year.
Right.
So.
Well, a couple of those years it was mandatory, right? You become queen, you have to. The year after you have to too, don't you? Or no?
Not necessarily, but I was honored by one of the local galleries that is no longer around. They did a float for me, which was tremendous.
You know what'll be interesting? I didn't even think of this. The Thorny Rose this year, they refused to be in the parade, and I don't know. Harry Tornek, who's a council member, last I asked him, he said that they were not going to attend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't see the chicken.
Oh, because before he was saying he was going to come.
Normally what happens if they don't ride in the parade, there's a big chicken that takes their place for the Thorny Rose, and I didn't see the chicken this year. So I don't know. Maybe they changed their mind.
Well, we'll have to see.
Suing the city, and they thought it wasn't,
He's saying, come on. Oh, look at the parade coming down here, the colors and the balloons. This is going to be a marvelous entry when it comes down the street. Oh, and here comes our first entry.
Uh-huh.
It looks like two demons on a motorcycle car. Oh, is it Star Wars? Well, the one guy isn't he that?
Like Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. That's it. That's it. And they went back the other way. See, this is Doodah. Anything can happen.
Exactly. I think that Snotty Scotty, which is the truck that we're seeing right in front of us, they are the official start of the parade.
Correct.
And so.
There goes a man armed with tortillas.
There you go.
Did you see that stack?
Well, in the early days, they threw peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, is that a mess or what?
Trying to get that out your hair.
Right. And I know last year, I probably shouldn't say this, but last year they were kind of relaxed with the throwing stuff, and I don't know if that's because it's in this part of town. I don't know if there's a difference. We don't care about East Pasadena.
Chris, now.
All right.
Now, I thought that it was illegal to throw tortillas in Pasadena.
I'm sure you could get busted for it.
But I've never seen that happen with anybody out here. This is a tremendous parade. Hi there, are you having fun? Look at this little girl, she's totally ready. Are you ready for the parade? Yes? Oh, aren't she lovely? And you're smart, you've got her in her sunbonnet, she's ready to go.
I want to remind everybody that if you have a question tonight about the Doodah, the show is being produced live, so you can call in at 626-794-1226. And I was going to say, if that's not apparent by now that this show is live, or you can go onto Twitter and use the hashtag Pasadenan, and we have a chat room, and you can do that by signing out to Pasadenan.com. And so let's get right to the Doodah Parade. I wanted to start out by talking about something that we're kind of doing new this year. Every year, this is the 5th year that we've live streamed the parade, and that's the video that we've been watching. Michelle helped us last year with it by announcing and is going to help us again this year, right?
Who's Michelle?
Yes.
I thought we had Queen Naughty Mickey.
My alter ego.
And so, okay.
Yes.
And so you want me to call you Naughty Mickey, or you want to be Michelle?
Mickey.
Mickey.
It's Mickey, okay. So last year, we've been doing this. This is our 5th year. And this year we decided to do something way out. So we wanted to make this kind of like the Doodah Parade and make the live stream fit into the parade. So I was online and I saw these things called air swimmers. We have one. It's a 5.5 foot long inflatable shark that we're going to fly over. That's remote controlled, and so we're going to fly it over the parade. And then we have a camera that I bought that's wireless, and so we'll get an aerial view of the parade. And so we put the camera in the back of the studio, and so at any time we can cut to the camera so people can kind of see. Outside it'll be a little bit better.
You can jump the shark.
Yeah, this is I can actually tune it. And so that is our camera. And so during the parade, we will have an aerial shot of whatever's going on, and we'll have a shark balloon. Unfortunately, we thought you'd be able to talk to it, but we can't put a mic on it. So we wanted to put a mic on it. But so these things are called.
Drone might hit it.
Yeah, these things are called air swimmers. It'll go 40 feet in the air. We anticipate it to go no more than 15. I mean, this ceiling's like 10, so 15 feet's pretty high anyway. We want to get it out of the reach. We don't want people throwing things at it, and we don't want, so we're going to try and get it. Tortillas or
Every kid's gonna
batting it, I know. And so everybody's going to want to bat the thing or do something, and so we got to keep it away from people.
And how are people able to watch that?
It's going to be on doodahlive.com, or it's going to be on the official, and I don't know because it's a crazy URL, but the official Doodah website. Hopefully Tom's going to call in, but Tom Costin, one of the organizers of the Doodah Parade, hopefully they're going to put it up on their website too. They're working on it with their web guy. So that's where you can watch it, and then you can watch whatever we do as far as, because we're going to have 2 other cameras. We're going to have cameras similar like we have in the studio here that are going to cover the parade from the ground as well. And so with that, I just wanted to get into the Doodah. And let's go around the room and introduce everybody real quick. So take a minute to tell
us about yourself.
Oh, I'm Queen Intergalactica 2012.
And what did you do to become queen?
Well, I
was the gig?
I slept with all of the judges.
Okay.
About 55 of them.
I thought you just had to buy them drinks, but that's, I guess you have to take it up one step.
That's commitment.
It's commitment.
Up a notch.
Up a notch.
Aren't you going to ask me what's wrong with me?
What is wrong with you? And so,
I was trying to hide this problem I have. You see, I poked my eye out. I was watching her dance with her swords, and I thought I'd pick one up and try to do the same thing, and I poked my eye out. So I've got to look for an eye by Saturday.
Ooh, we can go shopping.
Yeah.
Didn't you say
Ready?
you knew somewhere we could
Yeah,
find some
yeah,
eyes?
you can find
Well,
some
I
of
hear
the
a lot of.
swap
I hear Michelle, right?
He'll dry an eye on you.
Oh, poo-poo pee-pee.
Poo-poo pee-pee. Pee-pee poo-poo.
He's down there.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on Dry Your Eye On.
Pee-pee poo-poo was a past entity and got flushed. It's now yippee hippie.
oh, okay.
We have
Yippee
a,
hippie 60s.
we have a call, folks. We're going to take a phone call from
Well, let's go
Tom.
through who each of us are so we know, and then
yes.
after that, we'll take the phone call from Tom. And
I am Erica Marin, 1999 queen of the Doodah Parade.
Nice. My name is Ricky. I'm a loyal subject of Queen Naughty Mickey here. I've been performing djembe for her for some years now. I've played in the Doodah Parade 2 or 3 times now. I might have to miss it this weekend, but I know. But I'm here for you now, and we'll get a little sample. And here's for Royal Highness.
I'm the 31st occasional Pasadena Doodah Queen, Naughty Mickey, and as you heard, I won my title Dancing with Swords, and you'll get to see some of that tonight.
Yeah, she thinks she's a helicopter. You'll see that later. I'm Yippee Hippie 60s, likely the most colorful entity in the parade this year again. And I'm big on retro stuff of the 60s. Like I go to karaoke and do 60s stuff really great. And probably the most photographed entity around. You'll see me at the parade. Watch for me.
And I was going to say, I'm glad to know that the world is not going to end in 2012.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and so-
That Mayan prophecy, or the interpretation of the Mayan prophecy in the calendar ending this year, and what you saw in the movie 2012, and destruction of the planet, death of mankind, end of life as we know it, earthquakes, and all the biblical stuff. My answer to all of that, my interpretation is. Oops.
Get it?
No,
No end of the world.
Because the Mayan calendar will start over again at the end of 2012. It's cyclic, just like our calendar is. Every time we orbit the Earth, the Sun, or at December 31st, it starts over a new year. That's what the Mayan calendar does. Now, you may not have heard that on the news, and you will probably sometime at that time at the end of the year after the media.
22nd.
Yeah, whatever. And the media has done all its thing and hyped up the people and made all its money. But you know what? You just heard about it now on this show. So now you know.
So let's go ahead and we have Tom Costin, who's one of the co-founders of the organization Lightbringer that does the parade, and so he's on the phone.
Yeah, I am. You know what?
Tom, you there?
Are you
guys are
there,
up
Tom?
on Hen's Tooth Corner,
Oh, he's
right? Are you guys
Is
up
he
at
coming
Hen's
to the
Teeth?
studio? Oh, this. Hi, Dom.
Hey, how you doing? Are you guys up at Hen's Teeth?
Yeah, yes, we are. We're at Hen's Teeth.
I'm about 3 blocks away. I'm gonna come bust in.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
come join us. We'd love to have
Coming
you.
on live. I don't do the telephone. I do live.
Okay.
I'll be right there.
All right. We'll see you then, Tom.
All right, so that was Tom Costin, who I guess is going to break up our party, and so if he gets here in time, hopefully he said 3 blocks away. We'll talk to him, and he'll give us all the details about the parade and stuff like this. Sure. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the parade. Who has been in it the longest? Is it?
I was in the first parade.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the parade over the years. And its
I was a little
changes.
child when I was in the first parade.
1978. Am I
Yes,
correct?
I was actually with the Old Town Music Company,
Okay.
and we did there was a kazoo band.
Yeah.
And I was playing kazoo.
It wasn't called it didn't have a name at the beginning, right? The dude. I mean.
I thought it did, but
Oh, okay.
but I also was
Did they call it
involved
the-
with. My parents were heavily involved with Pasadena Heritage.
Oh, okay.
So they had a thing where there were like houses that people were dressed in houses and they were being torn down or something like that. You know, it's kind of vague because I was a kid, and
Redevelopment was.
yes, redevelopment was a big problem back then, and you know, it was definitely an issue. And I remember that there was a car that had two fronts, and that was in the parade. I don't know if that was the first one, but it was brought to you by Pasadena Heritage, and I don't remember if it was the first parade or if it was one of the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, over the years, it's had many changes. I think the spirit of it stays the same, though, right?
I think so.
It's definitely the people
It was a
and
real rebellious thing in the beginning.
we need to the mic.
Oh,
It was a very rebellious thing in the beginning.
Is it not
It was
now?
just some college kids that got together and were going, hey, we're going to do this on New Year's, right? And everybody's sitting there waiting for the Rose Parade.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to do this crazy thing and get
I
a
don't think they were
toilet and
college
put a
kids.
bunch
I
of.
think they were drunks.
Well, the kids that got me involved then, and I was just a 15-year-old runaway, were college kids.
Well, there you go.
You know,
What was in Old Pasadena? I mean, Old Pasadena at that
it's
time
all-
was run down. I mean, it started out with a bunch of people getting together in a bar to
Oh
sort
yeah,
of organize
but
it.
I
mean, it's-
never went there, so I
That
don't
was
know.
Peter Aspinall's
I-
days when he ran
Peter
the parade.
Aspinall.
And Peter Aspinall's big idea was to bring economy to Pasadena. So let's do something. Let's have a parade. Why not? It'll be a crazy parade. The subject matter will be the spoof of the other parade, and it'll draw interest in crowds. And it has over the years. There's been 30 to 40,000 people lining the parade route. Sometimes it was televised 3 times, and wow, it was really great. It's been downplayed a little bit now. It's kind of easy and laid back, but it's still really cool.
I loved Old Town back then. You had all these fabulous thrift stores. You had Carradines that had all those fabulous
You could
clothes.
find an eyeball.
You could totally find an eyeball there.
There was a time.
Right. So what do you think of the moving it to East Pasadena? Does that bring back some of that? Because
You know what?
that
It
Lamanda
does to a
Park is
certain
kind of that
extent.
same.
Yeah.
You know, you got your tattoo shops and you've got your, sort of.
To a certain extent, but Old Town does have all the fabulous buildings, though, which is
Right.
kind of I do hate the fact that it's become a little bit too, corporate.
We have the beautiful trees right there in front of Pooh Bah Record Store. And
They
Guitar
do,
Center
and we love Pooh Bah Records.
one of the last few remaining record stores.
Vinyl, baby.
Vinyl.
I bought
Absolutely.
records there.
I was going to say the only thing that I really noticed that was different was that line of demarcation between the crowd who's watching and the parade going on has really been broken in the new location. I noticed that by the end, as the parade goes on, more and more of the crowd is in the parade. That was
happening.
Yeah, that was my experience over the last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, I yank all the crazy kids in my group that want to dance around and are dressed up just for the fun of it. It works. You're absolutely right.
Well, here's the word on the street is that the parade, when it was moved to East Pasadena, the reason they kept it on Colorado Boulevard and make a big loop is they want exactly what you're talking about. They wanted the end of the parade to become the beginning of the parade and to make it more of a block party and just to keep it like kind of Mardi Gras or something like where you just had all the people. And I think it worked. The first year, there was really no ending to the parade. In fact, the second year, the police had intervened and they were like, at 2 o'clock, this parade's done. And so, you know what I mean? They kind of caught on right away. So.
I've been known to go
That's
to
true.
the parade twice.
Yeah, that's, you couldn't, well,
Yeah.
you could do that
Me
when
too.
it was in Old Pasadena, yeah. You could run around the block and then start it and go again. But this makes it easier because you just have to, you can loop around and so, but
And you can cut over if you want.
yeah, you could.
Oh.
Cut back.
Right.
You can do
I think there's
whatever
gonna
you
be-
want.
Being queen, though, there's going to be some restrictions, I think, placed on the queen, right? Because you have to ride
There's
in a car.
never restrictions on Queens.
Well, I mean, what is, I should ask you, what is the vehicle that you are going to go down the parade route
It's
in?
a skateboard.
A skateboard? You're going to skateboard down the parade?
I'm a skateboard.
Okay. I'm a skateboarder.
It's decorated.
Skateboard. Okay.
Well, I got a skateboard I found in the desert full of bullet holes. You want to use that one? It works.
Nice.
So since we have 3 former queens and a queen, 2 former queens and a queen, how many times, I know it takes sometimes 2 or 3 tries before you actually become queen. Did you try out multiple times before you actually made it as queen?
I did.
Did you? How many
I
times?
tried out twice, and the third time I became queen. And it was a little weird because I figured I knew all the judges. Why wouldn't they fucking vote? Sorry. Why wouldn't they freaking vote for me?
Can't help it.
Yeah.
I tried.
Next queen.
Yeah, I auditioned 7 times. The first year, I didn't know what I was doing. I was sent as an assignment by the Pasadena Star News to find out the secrets of Doodah, and I found out one thing. It was a lot of fun. So I was back 5 more times as a consecutive runner-up.
Did you change your gig? I mean, did you change your...
Yeah, a little bit each time, but my main shtick has been dancing with my swords.
Which we're going to see later, a little bit later.
And by the time I got up to 3 swords, I was like, I don't even have anywhere to put anymore. What am I going to do?
Right.
And luckily, they selected me, so that was really great. Lucky 7.
And now we have the current queen, which we're going to ask her to put her crown on.
Oh, can you hold this?
Absolutely.
Well, I have a there is a secret to the Doodah Queen.
Uh-oh.
I've just got this off of my head, and
She has issues.
here it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Yes!
I'll have what she's having.
Keep it on and keep all that going.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Do you have a cigarette?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Fresh
I
out.
don't smoke anyway. It's important. We were talking about history earlier, and I
Right.
do want to bring up something fabulous that's going to be happening after the parade on July 1st.
Go ahead.
We're going to have a cocktail party with all of these queens.
A queenly cocktail
It's
party.
going to be in the garden at the Pasadena Historical Museum, or the Museum of Pasadena History, or the Pasadena History.
Pasadena Hysterical Society.
The Pasadena Museum of History. They have a lovely garden there, Mrs. Fenya's mansion. And we're going to have a fundraiser for an exhibit that's coming up, a retrospective on the history of Doodah. And there's going to be big photos and articles and things and props and all
Dogs and cats
things,
living together.
like bras that somebody had thrown away. No. And so it's $35 a person. And we want you to come, please.
And
And there's movies, too. Lots of movies.
gotta
there
have
you go.
movies. We're going to take a quick break here, Dean.
Okay.
And then we're going to come right back. So we'll be back with TV Magic.
I'll draw your eyeball now, okay?
Oh, yeah. Draw my eyeball.
For the kids, right? We have another 3-year-old son, so it looked like it'd be fun.
And where did you come from? What city?
We live in Pasadena.
And you've never been before?
We've never been, so it might be a tradition starting this year.
Wonderful. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye,
Michelle,
sweetheart.
when we're interviewing people, we need to stand and face the camera. So you don't need to look at the camera, you just need to face the camera. As best you can. One of us needs to, because if you're interviewing people, I know the parade, we're on the kind of opposite side, and we do want to. So the parade, I think, is about to start. This is definitely the beginning. We've been saying that, and it's definitely taken its time. I think it's going, less than 2 miles an hour.
You know, they really drag it out.
Did you go last night to Cafe 322?
Unfortunately,
Scotty
no.
Snotty. Oh, okay.
I was celebrating
Right.
the royal wedding at Maggie's Pub in Southie Springs.
Ah,
Toasting, Kate and William, what can you say?
right.
My mother's a Brit.
And so they were at Cafe 322, and actually Cafe 322 was kind enough to sponsor this event. So they are one of the
Very
official
good.
sponsors of this live stream. They're in Sierra Madre on Sierra Madre Boulevard, and they're cool. Mario that owns the place is just a really cool guy.
And then there's, here comes our first entry. I hope they're not going to run me over. And there goes the preview entry. And here you see the Snotty Scotty and the Hankies, I believe.
So Scotty Snotty, they're known for the parade, they're known for the bridge party. They've been around since the early 1980s. I always ask him, the band name sounds like they're old punks. He denies it every time, but Snotty Scotty, come on. That's like the perfect punk name, right?
I think it does sound like a punk name, but they do a lot of classic rock.
Yeah, I know. Right.
So, well, I think we should let some of the people enjoy this for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hear us.
No. So we're going to let you groove to Snotty Scotty and the Hanky.
Welcome back. You're watching Media Mashup. And so we just had him on the phone, but now he just walked in the studio. So we have one of the co-founders of the Doodah Parade, Tom Costin.
Yeah.
And
I was just up at the ale house in Altadena. I thought I'd hop on by.
Welcome.
So tell us anything different this year? I mean, is there any big surprises?
It's so great. We love being in East Pasadena because of the energy. And there's a lot of we get a wider audience, a lot of younger people coming out and different things, more inventive, do it yourself kind of stuff. And it's great because old Pasadena was getting a little bit stagey. It's all good. We were successful out there. But now, it's more like a kind of street party, Mardi Gras, kind of high energy thing. So we're all excited about Saturday.
And so tell us a little bit about we haven't done any of this stuff, when the parade is, where, and all.
Oh, okay.
Give us a little bit of rundown of.
The hardcore facts, man.
Yeah, give us
the parade is, I had to fight my way in here. You guys have a really good, a guy outside. He said, no, you can't go on there, it's live. I go, no, I'm going on. He goes, I didn't explain myself. He's
taking over.
Cool. We had a big laugh about that, but he tried to throw me out. So anyhow, as he should. The parade is Saturday. That's this Saturday, April 28th at 11 a.m. It's in what do you want to call it? Lamanda Park. We call it Newtown now. Newtown, East Pasadena. And it's essentially, I camp out across from Denny's in front of the Colorado Bar and Pooh Bar Records, 2636 East Colorado Boulevard. And it's in the heart of Newtown. And it all happens right there. The parade comes out of Veneto. And it makes this big loop around that whole neighborhood area. But the funny part about it is just when we moved the parade, we didn't actually realize there was a median out there. So we went out there about 30 days before. I remember going out there and thinking, God, maybe this is the stupidest thing we ever did. And it was only the second stupidest thing. I won't tell you the first. But I saw the median out there, and I thought, oh, this is awful. You can't have a parade when there's a divider with cactus plants. And it turned out to be a stroke of genius. Pee-pee Poo-poo would understand this. Right. Because it's the only parade, I thought you loop it, it's the only parade that runs in opposite directions at the same time in America.
Oh.
That's all I got to say.
Wow. Just like a big stew.
Just like a big stew. It's 11 a.m. this Saturday, East Pasadena. Yeah. And I like how I'm happy our queen can sign everything I say. She's, just kind of amazing. Yeah, we're excited.
And so is this parade bigger or smaller, same size as last year?
Bigger. It's growing bigger. It's in its third year, so it's at first year you're going God, are people even going to come? And we purposely downsized it because we're the neighborhood's smaller, so we didn't want to overrun it and turn it into a big mess. But so we kind of just grown it over the last couple of years, so we're expecting ultimately it's going to just be the same parade you saw in Old Pasadena without the Cheesecake Factory and the Gus Jeans, and who are out of business, by the way.
Isn't that your other secret, that you really are trying to make it a big mess?
Yeah, we are. What we try to do is we clean up. It's like spring cleaning, dude. That's really cool. What we do is we clean it all up and everything like that. We're really just sweeping into the carpet. Absolutely. And then we turn it into a big mess. That's what it's all about. Hey, dude, you look great. Then we lift up the carpet and we go, holy moly, there's a Doodah parade under there. Oh, my God.
Well, I was going to say, it's because it loops around the beginning of the... There is no beginning and end of the parade.
There's no beginning. The snake eats its tail, which is really cool. And we're always happy when it comes out. And here's the really beautiful thing. People can go around as many times as they want, except we have one guy. We don't really know who he is. His name is Aaron. And he stands in front of Denny's, and he decides whether people can't go around again, and he throws them out.
Who the hell is he?
He's Aaron. He's just the guy. He says, I know when they need not to go around. I go you're in charge. So he's really running the show. It's our man Aaron in front of Denny's.
Well, I'm going to yank any kids I see in costume into my group.
Perfect. Excellent.
I've done that before.
Are you doing a pre-parade?
Kidnapping?
I don't know. If I get there and do a pre-parade, I'll do a pre-parade.
they're underage, is that going to be a problem?
No, as long as they're dressed up and silly and throwing marshmallows and tortillas like they always do.
And have counsel.
You know what? They will not stop. The tortilla thing just will not stop. We finally given up. We surrendered to the tortilla. It is the defining signature, icon of the Doo-Dah Parade.
Corn or flour?
Corn.
What is most popular?
You can't throw flour, dude.
If you can't handle a tortilla being thrown at you, you don't belong in Doo-Dah.
You know what? Could you say that again?
If you can't handle a tortilla and a couple marshmallows being thrown at you, you don't belong in Doo-Dah, baby.
Yeah, come on.
Silly string.
No, but the thing is, what you have to do is you have to be able to throw them back.
Yes, exactly.
And with good aim.
Exactly. You
I
can't
catch
throw
the
a flour.
marshmallows and eat them. I've eaten many marshmallows.
I bet you Ricky J could throw a flour tortilla. Probably pretty good.
Yeah.
You think?
That's all I pass that down. What happened to you, man? You get clocked?
No,
The Whistling Diva hit you?
I had an accident with the sword. Poked my eye out.
The one you're holding.
The girls
in
are
your
going to go shopping
We're
for
gonna
my
go shopping
eye.
for our
Oh,
eyes.
Because I've got to get a new eye by Saturday.
Oh, you get a good one. I'm sure you get
Show
a
a
good one.
close-up of her new eyeball.
I know a store in Echo Park.
Isn't that wonderful? Dennis
There's
just
so
did
many-
that for me.
A
So many
consignment
lovely
store, a consignment.
eye stores, you know.
There really is.
So is there anybody, let me
I
ask
think
you, is there anybody new to the parade this year you're excited about? Is anybody?
Oh, yeah. It's the ones that we don't know what they're really doing. You know, that's
Okay.
like really strange. It's like the diamaticious love monkeys or something like that. They phone up and then they go like, we say, well, what do you do? Just to make sure, we don't know. And they go like, you'll find out. That's what we get excited about that. Yeah,
And so this is the 35th year.
so it's
Kind of
what?
a-
This is the 35th,
the
year and
35th, right?
34
It's kind
years.
of a anniversary, I guess. Is that anything
It is
for the
as
35th?
much as an occasional parade can have an anniversary. It's the 35th year. Excuse me, I irped up a little beer. It's the 35th
Thank you for letting
parade.
us know.
It's the 35th parade in the 34th year.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's Einsteinian. Because sometimes there was two parades and sometimes there was no parade.
Oh.
That's the whole beauty of the whole thing. You have to follow
That's
it.
pure genius. It's different from any other parade.
Different. It's the 35th parade and 34th
Unusual and
year.
innovative.
It moves in opposite directions at the same time.
Yeah, something to really brag about.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Okay, you want to sing? Really? No?
The contribution.
Well, let's go. Let's have Naughty Mickey come out and dance for us. Yeah. Well, we put you to work. It's like we gave you the microphone and you were working way.
No, I like got my own show going over here.
Yeah. And so let's go ahead and have.
Tom,
I know.
Well, we do a show every Friday night
Okay.
from Poobah.com.
You just let me know. I'm on call waiting.
We do have a show on poobah.com. Tom,
Yeah, we
The
do.
Queen and
let's
I.
Talk about that.
And it's wonderful.
talk about it, Diane.
Or shall we?
Before we do this,
No, we're doing
does
it.
somebody want to hand her the microphone? Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're about to do?
God, I love that shirt.
It's mostly visual.
I'm going to dance with swords. I've been doing this since about 2002, and keep playing with it and having more and more fun. And I dance all over. I do the LA County Fair. I do the Renaissance Pleasure Fair,
Which is right now.
which is right now. I'm doing 4 shows a day there. I'm exhausted. And art galleries, anywhere I can get a gig. And my trusty drummer Rick comes with me to a lot of those things.
That's true.
Okay.
Enjoy.
He's Rick.
Sort of like being in a helicopter.
Sword dancing by
Amazing thing I've ever seen.
Naughty
I can see
Mickey.
why you poke eyes out.
Queen Intergalactic, I see you have a cigarette now.
Oh, well, yeah. Cigarette. Well, it's just a holder.
Elegant.
Elegant.
And so that is an example of some of the stuff that queens have to do when they want to become queen, right? Or bribe the judges, as we've learned. Tom.
I don't do swords.
I was,
I have three. I can loan you one.
And I'm never doing it again.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that, Queen.
and so I was going to say,
Queen. This is really great.
That's because we're all queens.
Drumming.
We,
Yeah.
I guess we could, win a good poker hand, right?
I have to say, I never actually saw that from the other perspective.
The other perspective, you mean?
Jump in, Dean.
From the stage.
You mean from the
From the caboose. Yeah, from the caboose.
from the caboose? Okay, yeah.
so before we run out of time, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we wanted to get out about. I guess this is going to be the year in Doodah, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of exhibits, and you wanted to talk a little bit about.
Tom, you want to talk about
I
the
wanna?
exhibit? Yes.
Okay, yes, look at this. I think we have an invitation. Here is a little prompter card here. We have a couple of things going on. This is going to be the year of Doodah. We have, first of all, the Pasadena Museum of History is holding an exhibition, 35 years of Doodah. It's called What a Long Strange Trip It's Been. Indeed, and that opens August 15th is a soft opening, and it's going to run through January. But just as a prelude to that, we are going to have the Queen. We're going to have a garden party at the Pasadena Museum of History at the Fenius Mansion Garden, and there'll be music and refreshments and cocktails, and just like the ones I had. And that's going to be Sunday, July 1st from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and it'll be a fundraiser for the museum exhibit. And then actually, as we get farther, and you're going to see literally 35 years of Doodah, we've accumulated all this wonderful memorabilia. We even have a Dia Stelas Doodah for those who have passed, who have been in the parade, of which there are many. We're 35 years after all down the line. So we've lost many revelers have gone under the...
people.
Tom,
Doodah
we all know the fun part of Doodah, but
Yeah.
there's a serious side too.
Yes, there is.
You should take a moment to tell everybody what all this craziness is
Yeah,
for.
serious fun.
Yes, what is it all about? Is it a party with a purpose? No, you know what? And actually, I want to say this. Going way back, I've talked to a lot of people who were in the beginning at Kromos Bar. Corky Peterson's coming out, the co-owner of Kromos, where they launched the Doodah Parade in 1978. It was never really an attack on the tournament in the beginning. It was always, they said there's no parade on January 1st on Sunday, the day of rest. Therefore, let's really see if we can harness artistic kind of spirit out there, creative spirit, and have people go out there and just kind of express ourselves. Pasadena has a soul and has a lot of artistic people, and let's just go have creative play in the street. And that's where the parade actually really came from. Then it kind of developed into a satirical, review of the tournament over the years. But it actually started from that point, and we certainly have a lot of artists and creative folks in Pasadena. But the Doodah Parade, which I think is where you're getting at, is owned and operated by the Lightbringer Project. We inherited it for $2 in 1995 when the then czar said, this parade, I'd sell it for $1.50, and I whipped $2 out, and I got a parade.
Hey.
And so, yeah, it was all about that. And our main focus is young people, youth and education in the schools. We do a lot of things with in the public school system with underserved. So there's a serious side to us with underserved young people, and we do these wonderful programs. And we just brought John Muir High School to Art Center in a 2-year curriculum around communications, and they all just went like ape, over like the things that they saw there. And the mentorship that was being given them by the chair of the advertising department at Art Center. It was really cool. So we do all these other great, cool things. Everybody does. Everybody here does great. You do cool things. You run this show. Like it's,
Thank you, Tom.
tell our story, right? He runs the camera. He runs the camera. Let's hear it for those guys.
There we go.
So, yeah, but thank you. Michelle is one of our great boosters and supporters, and she's always like kind of adamant about getting her story out, in front. We
If
don't
you ever
talk
want
about
to
it
know,
so
I was
much.
going to say, if you ever want to know what reporters do on their spare time, this is what
This is
Michelle-
actually,
what
you should see what Dean, actually, I've seen him. I've been in places. I've seen what Dean does in his spare time. It's an incredible thing. No, so anyhow, but Doodah is our chance to have fun and make merry. You know, is she here tonight? Actually, no, but it is our. You know, and it's really like the deal about Doodah Parade is that there's no wall between the participants and the people in the street. There's no stage. It's just really a bunch of people having a lot of fun and sharing creativity. And one day under the sun, and it is going to be sunny this year. It's going to be a beautiful day. That's all I got to say.
All you got to say?
Yep.
That's it?
Well, I'm actually going to swing a question back to you.
Oh, okay, let's go back.
We heard of a scandal already.
Oh, good, cool. Yeah, we love yes, we love it.
We heard that the current queen.
Yeah, she really didn't lose her eye.
No, we heard that she slept with all the judges to get her.
Well,
Hey, I was a judge. She didn't sleep with me.
I basically heard that it was about 80% of the judges.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't all of them. That she was really selective, but she knew that she could tip the scale of the vote if she slept with 80%. 10% of the 80% actually went against her, and they felt used and abused. 70% supported her, and that kind of gave her the royal nod, so to speak.
We should really quickly explain how the queen comes about. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, I mean, because
you know what it's like. I'll tell you what it's really like.
About judges and all this kind of stuff.
You know what it's honestly like this. It's actually.
Like
I remember.
Well,
I'm going to go back. Like what it started is we thought, when we were trying to kind of get it local again and bring it down and kind of be more grassroots about it all, we decided, well, we need to do everything the tournament does, but in reverse, so that we can kind of show what that's all about. And so kind of unmask the pretension, so to speak. So what we did is we had queen tryouts at the Doodah Mansion in Northwest Pasadena on Mountain Street at some guy's house. It was on stilts, Gothic mansion. And we had queen tryouts there, just like the tournament does, only we had 10 people try out, right? Okay, but the 10 best in Pasadena. It's like choice women in Pasadena and men.
That's where I tried out.
That's exactly right. That was a defining moment for Doodah. And so then what happened is, so then we got all these judges, and we always thought it would be funny. We have more judges than queens always keep ahead of the pool that comes in. So we have 52 judges this year at the American Legion. And we had 22 contestants, candidates, queen hopefuls, we call them. And going back years ago when we were at the Zorthian Ranch, we went from the Doodah Mansion to the Zorthian Ranch. I actually remember standing up there being afraid, really being afraid, because I thought, you're all a bunch of crazy freaks, man. And they were throwing sharp objects at me and stuff. There was hatred. No, it was but what I really realized is, this is like they used to do politics in the old days. The old days when everybody just got in the room and slugged it out, and whoever prevailed that's the decision was made. So the Doodah Queen Tryouts are a lot like being in a pirate ship, throwing all the hopefuls off the ship one by one, and the last one standing is queen. There she is.
Well done. Queen Intergalactic.
May her reign be glorious.
Yes.
There she is. Is that the White House? No, that's
in his mansion.
All right.
So, I do want to talk a little bit about something. The Doodah Parade has spun off a number of other parades around the country. Have you been ever involved or know anything about any? There's one in Columbus, Ohio, and Ocean
New
City,
Jersey.
and what are all these other
There's
Doodah
a Super
parades?
Muda in St. Louis. And
St. Louis.
They're all over the place, and the Doodah was actually one of the first kind of parades of its type, because it was just invented out of nothing or a lot of beer back in 1978. But years later, soon after, these other parades, replicant parades started, I like calling them replicant parades. Replicant parades started coming. And so then the issue was, should Doodah trademark its name and then make people pay fees or something like that to, anybody can go out in the street. It's your constitutional right to go out and be funny and say something. But then when you use the name Doodah or Muda or whatever, that could be a different thing. And we just decided, come on, really, we're not going to do that. Come on, that's not
goes
what
against
this is
the
about.
spirit.
We're going to trademark Doodah,
Well, if you're running it truly like a pirate ship, I say you go take them over.
That's
So
the
you
thing.
take
You know
a
what?
busload- a busload of
Yes.
Doodah people.
I hereby appoint you Commander Lee of the 1st Battalion of the Ragoon Brigade, and we're going to go take over the Super Muda. Seriously, that's what we should do, is just march into their town.
Right.
We'll show them how to Doodah. Super Muda this, Columbus, Ohio. Let's do it.
We get several buses.
Storm the Bastille.
We just need
So
two
we just
buses.
have a few minutes left. Is there anything anybody wants to get out there, messages or anything that people want to talk about
I just want to make sure everybody knows all the places they can watch Doodah. They can watch it out on the street with the rest of us crazies and have a great time. If you really want to slug around in your PJs all day at home, you can catch it online, and that's doodahdlive.com and PasadenaStarNews.com.
Or let me just say this about that.
Where else?
Let me interrupt you for just a second. Is that because we're doing it on Ustream, they have an app. And so if you are at the parade and you just want to hear your commentary on the parade, they can go and listen to the parade on the app by going to Ustream, looking up Doodah Live. That's what we're called on Ustream, and they can watch it right at the parade. So,
you can actually come in your pajamas if you want.
Yeah.
Yep, you could come in your pajamas.
Comment.
Right.
So I pick up the LA magazine, and it says 30 things to do in April, and the Doodah Parade's like one of them, right? There's only 35 things in LA going on. So, but that's good. We went down. And it says the Doodah Parade, this is really funny, smells like Dorito chips. And it's the only event in the world that can still rock MC Hammer pants, right? And I go, okay. And it goes, it's the most awesome thing and the most awful thing all at once. It's awesome. And I agree. I thought that was cool. Probably not.
I'm just not so sure why Dorito chips. What the?
I don't know. Where that comes from.
And they're confusing it with tortillas being thrown. Yeah, the old hot dogs is more appropriate.
That's what I smell when I go there.
Yeah.
So everybody come out and have a great time. That's my big
Smells of
message.
old hot
It is
dogs.
something you will see things you've never seen before and things you never want to see again.
It's awesome.
You're going to trademark that, right? Like, yeah, there you go.
Trademark that. Doodah Parade. It's awesome.
It's awfully awesome.
What is the crowd? How many people come out to see this parade?
We have 23 people, actually.
23.
To see it. We always have
wondering. I
a
was
bigger
like, you know
parade
what?
than people watching, as opposed to the other parade, which has 1.5 million people watching, 23 people. The rest are all robotic and animatronic. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
You're a liar.
No, my favorite is when the religious people meet the atheist people. I love that.
That's always lovely. The religious
hippie.
people, yes.
I've always had this dream that we should join that other parade and come on behind it, like the Occupy movement did last year, and that I've done before with holding up my big sign that says Doodah Parade is better. Now, the bleachers are already there and people are already there by the scads. It would be the perfect addition to that other parade.
You know, in the year of a downsized economy, marry your resources. He's got a thing going. It would be tournament, Doodah, Occupy, Jesus, LA County Sheriff.
But the here's the
5
deal.
parades in
the
one.
Occupy.
Right on.
The
And then drones.
Street cleaners.
Street cleaners.
The Occupy
That way,
movement.
you'd
they
only
can't
need one
take
street
over
cleaner.
Doodah
You know,
because
they are coming.
It is the same.
Is it? What is it? I'm trying to figure out.
It's
the preoccupied movement.
The preoccupied movement. Okay.
Preoccupied. Give me a preoccupied.
Preoccupied. Right. It was, because I mean, the Rose Parade this year became the Doodah Parade. Right. I mean, they had a whole bunch of people that were in it.
Right, but if you watch
Ann
it on-
Erman she's the public information informer.
We're swapping.
Yeah, and she
Grant
was in
Marshall.
the parade.
Oh,
and-
it's a
that
wife
it?
swap.
You know what it is? It's a slow takeover. We're swapping pretty soon. Like in this
We're
parade,
infiltrating.
like we're actually going to have the Kiwanis float in this parade, and then they're going to have the barbecue hibachi grill team in their parade next year. And we're going to start to trade.
I'll see if they don't mind we fly a
Wow,
shark
I
over
don't,
their parade.
I don't
See what
see the
happens.
barbecue hibachi throwing their hot dogs, at that
Well, they
parade.
get a vendor's permit for
Maybe that's true.
Yeah, but the only problem is you do anything, the Rose Parade, they'll take you out with missiles.
Right.
Remember the guy? Are we off the air? We're probably
No, we're still on the air.
Remember the guy
We got,
who
just
landed
keep
on a
going.
jetpack? The guy
Oh, yeah, yeah. It
lands
was
on a jetpack.
right in
George
front of me, by the
Lucas.
way.
He's part of the act. He's hired. He's part of the act. He lands within this circle, and he just wants to shake George Lucas' hand. And they threw him down, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
come to the Doodah Parade, jetpack dude. Come on, shake somebody's hand.
Jetpack dude.
I've got
Shake
cans and cans
Patrice's.
of flocking. I don't know what I'm going to do with. You can have a
So-
can of flock. Go flock yourself.
I think
Go
that
flock
we're
yourself,
sort of
Tom.
out of time. And this is a really good representative of the Doodah Parade because this is exactly what it's like. It's informal.
This is really exactly what it's like.
I said this show was called the Doodah Takeover Show, right?
Totally. It's this times
we just-
1,000. You've got the
we'll
parade.
just take over here. Move.
Did you?
Oh.
I'm on a mic though. Did you want?
No, out.
Doesn't matter.
You
Get out of here.
But take
All right.
it over.
We're taking the show over.
Somebody has to do
It's
it.
Hang on.
It's preoccupy
Somebody has to do
mashup.
it.
It's Michelle's Media Mashup.
There you go.
Wait, I want to be the queen.
All right.
Let's switch. Let's
We're being
roll
kicked
reverse.
out.
This is Media Mashup. Taken over by the Doodah.
Oh my God! It's the crown. It's not the title. It's the
Thank
crown.
you, everybody. Have a great week.
It's the final
And-
minute.
Come out on Saturday.
Tell them come
Come out
outside.
on Saturday.
Come on Saturday, 11 o'clock,
11
and
o'clock.
Venito and Colorado.
And enjoy the Doodah Parade. Thanks for watching Media Mashup.